Here's the question of the week. Will inflation stay high? This week, all eyes are on this Fed meeting in Jackson Hole with top economists, and chances are Fed Chairman Powell is going to come out and say something that moves the markets. I am going to come out and say, no matter what he says and what the Fed does with interest rates, we may be looking at inflation for a while. Why? There's three reasons. Supply issue, there's fewer workers, there's higher energy costs. So let's go through one by one. So supply shock. You might look at your things and notice everything is made in China. We realized with this pandemic, there are risks with having so many of our consumer products made in China. And Russia controlled a lot of oil production. So same type of geographic concentration risk. You can't rely on just one country if there's a geopolitical event like the war with Ukraine or the no COVID policy in China. So companies are going to have to build factories elsewhere, and there's a lot of expense that goes with that. Another thing, that second thing, is a shrinking workforce is driving labor costs up. Why? There's 2.5 million fewer workers now than at the start of the pandemic. A lot of people took early retirement. That's one of the reasons the airline industry is such a mess. So there's other reasons for that, but fewer workers. And then lastly, energy prices. There hasn't been a lot of investment in new production over the past decade by these oil companies, which creates a higher chance there's going to be shortages when there's a demand for gas. So, back to the question. Can the Fed face all these factors and address them just by raising interest rates? I'm going to say no. And as long as the inflation is high, we're going to see the Fed pretty limited in what they can do. So we'll be watching the Fed comments this week along with everyone else, but I don't think it's going to change anything. Thanks for watching. See you next week.